Hey, good morning everyone. It's Tractorman 44 here. See, I'm standing right in front of my namesake. But at any rate, today's going to be just a quick and simple video. This is a follow-up on part one of the Rotary 10,000 pound Rotary Lift installation. This is going to be part two, obviously. We're going to make this cotton picker go up and down and in no uncertain terms today. Probably be a lot of fast forwarding, a lot of jibber jabber, but that's just kind of the way it is. You just have to suffer through that stuff. So let's get on with the business of finishing up the project. Drivers driven under there to kind of angle it just a little bit. There's a little low spot, so we have to tilt everything to make sure these uprights come in plumb. Now I've used 4-foot level on it, and I went both directions, this direction and that direction, to make sure we're plumb both ways. But just to double check, I went ahead and used this fancy little guy right here. If you can read right on it, it is showing perfectly 90 degrees that way. We'll transfer it to this other side right here. If you have a look-see, you can see that it's fairly close to 90 degrees, if not exactly 90 degrees that way. And at the same time, we've done that on the other post as well. We're dead nut on that too. Now, logic tells you these things are going to have a lot of compression weight on them, and if they're not installed perfectly plumb, you can see, what the off-kilter weight might do. Why it's important that these things are absolutely plumb, and it's also important why they got the pull-out strength requirements on those 3/4 inch anchors. Simply because if you have something that's exceptionally heavy and it's starting to pull itself forward, those anchors better do a good job of holding everything in place, as well as the material of these guys right here can't be allowed to get any torque or twist in them, which is why they need to remain absolutely perfectly vertical. So that's what I'm trying to do anyway. That's my logic behind them. I don't know. Next time I install one of these is going to be the second one, and I hope I don't ever have to do that. I've also used a laser measuring device and actually put it at a specific point on this at different elevations and measured the distance between this portion and that portion here and all the way up near the top to make sure that we're staying exactly the same. That's just a double check on everything being square, level, and plumb. Because if we're measuring the one measurement down here and the other measurement is real wide at the top or real narrow at the top, we'd know that something's wrong with our replumbing of the towers. And obviously everything is squaring up and looking pretty good. So I'm going to proceed with poking the 5 holes in the concrete floor on that side over there. Get this thing a little bit farther along. Well, I'm happy to report that I drilled all 10 3/4 inch holes, approximately 7.25 inches deep. Never hit a single PEX tubing pipe. So apparently my layout, in the whenever I put that PEX tubing under the concrete, apparently my notes on the layout and everything, worked out in my favor. Most of the slab is 4.5 to 5 inches, and I never punched out the bottom of the slab, so I know I definitely hit within that 30-inch pier that I poured underneath each one of these. Oh yeah, thought I'd better bring out one more thing. That concrete dust is so fine. If you're susceptible to sinusitis, or having sinus headaches, you can't hardly do this without wearing a face mask. Well, I tell you what, just a little bit yesterday, it started, I could feel it pinching in on me. So that's why I had to wear a face mask the rest of the time. It's good advice anyway, because that's going in your lungs, Now that wasn't easy. 2 horsepower, single phase, 208, 230, 16 amps. That's a 37-degree JIC flare fitting right there. I got to decide whether the hydraulic line goes in between the cables up in that top rack or if they clip to it. I don't know. I'm going to have to run the cables first, I think. Well, I can tell y'all everything was definitely a success. I had a little bit of an issue threading the cables and also threading the safety latch that holds the lifts up once you get them past increments. You know, the safety latch engages, and so whenever you release it to lower the vehicle, you have to release that safety latch and then allow it to come back down. Now this thing is 11 foot and 4 inches to the top, if I'm not mistaken. So it's pretty substantial. It's pretty tall. But at any rate, I think it's going to do a fine job. And so what happened? All the dust in the air, you know, from me drilling all those holes and everything, I wasn't paying that much of attention, and I guess some of it settled in the telescoping lens of my camera, and it's lodged up my camera. So I'm finishing this up on my iPhone. But at any rate, make a long story short, I missed a lot of the assembly of the different components simply because of that factor. My phone just ate up on me, you know. I just can't, it just won't film anything. But it'll film, I'm sure, if I get the telescoping camera to work, but filled full of cement dust, it ain't going. But you can see the hydraulic pump is completely installed. I probably have to attach those lines a little more securely across there. I've got temporary wiring up there because, you know, obviously I don't have a ceiling in the shed. And you can see the variety of whatever you want to call those things there, the little lifting pads. There's a whole selection back here for different heights and everything, so that you can adjust for different frame shapes and all that stuff. And the real cool thing about this, it's got a safety switch up at the top, but to raise up, all you do is push the start button. Once you push the start button, you can see the lifts come up. But once they start there, you heard it pop right here. That's the first safety catch. There's a second safety catch. And then to get them to go down, you have to push this lever right here, which is nothing more than a release. And of course, the weight of the vehicle will take them down. Right now, it won't go down because I don't have two hands to hold the safety catch release and then push the hydraulic return line, which allows the pressure to come back into the tank. Well, you just got to take my word for it because I cannot do it with just one hand. And I guess that's kind of a safety incentive in and of itself. But at any rate, all in all, this turned out to be a very nice installation. I really, really like it. Very smooth operation. Can't wait to get my old truck up on it because I got some muffler work to do immediately. I'm going to telescope these feet out for you, or these lifting arms. What you do, you lift this spring-loaded pin right here, and there's a cog down underneath there that'll disengage the gears and allow you to spin the arms forward, backwards, whatever, to align with your frame. Now, when this goes all the way down on the floor, the spring-loaded pins are bypassed, and you can move these yellow arms with your foot because it puts it in a bypass position. But once you lock it in position underneath the frame, you can't accidentally get these arms to rotate or move. They're locked in place. You can see a little better the pin and the cogs on the front lifting arm right there. You can see I've got the front one telescoped out pretty good, and I've taken the back one and telescoped it out also. And if you notice by chance that this particular one here sets at an angle, it sets at an angle instead of absolutely straight in line with the vehicle. I don't know, I couldn't find out any information to why that's the case, but that is the way it's done. Well, I had absolute no idea that my camera was going to fail on me, you know, in the middle of this video, and I really apologize for not being able to get all the subtleties of the installation on camera. But, you know, that's just the way it is. All I can tell you is it was a very neat, it was a very fun installation. Everything turned out square and plumb. Everything is doing what it's supposed to do. And I think we're going to be good for years and years to come. So, you know what? Without having anything else to say, all I can tell you is TrackMan 44, and I am out of here.